I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving with more of these top headlines on this extremely busy Thursday. Live picture there over the Seattle, Washington area. I believe you can see there Mount St. Helens. Wow, look at that. In the meantime, though, we have some news. We are hearing from one of the world's wealthiest individuals today. I'm talking about Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. And so the Associated Press has it as follows, that Bill Gates saying he will donate 99% of his remaining tech fortune to the Gates Foundation, which will now close in the year 2045. That's earlier than previously planned. Today, that would be worth an estimated $107 billion. Now, the pledge is among the largest philanthropic gifts ever, even outpacing the historic contributions of industrialists like John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie when adjusted for inflation. Only Berkshire Hathaway investor Warren Buffett's pledge to donate his fortune may be larger, depending on stock market fluctuations. Buffett's currently estimated by Forbes at $160 billion. Now, Gates's donation will be delivered over time and allow the foundation to spend an additional $200 billion over the next 20 years. The foundation already has an endowment of $77 billion built from donations from Gates, Melinda French Gates, his ex-wife, and Warren Buffett. So you're going to hear this announcement being made today. Also, some of the comments being made in that very announcement, getting a lot of attention. Gates extemporaneously commenting on another fellow billionaire, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, as well here. So let's listen to Gates make this announcement today.
Well, good morning. I'm not one for looking back much, but we've got, such incredible anniversaries this year, and particularly the 25 years of the Gates Foundation. During the 1990s, Microsoft was doing very well, and so that's when I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this wealth? How much should go to the kids? How much do I want to consume? And how should the bulk of it go back to society? And I was trying to figure out, was there anything dramatic, anything that would be significant that could be done? Obviously, I was spoiled by the computer revolution and how digital tools, including the software from Microsoft, had made a big difference. And it made me think about innovation, surprising innovation that could do big things. And so as I was studying these foundations from the past and the work they had done, one of the articles I ran into in 1997 by Nick Kristof, who's here with us today, talked about deaths from diarrhea. And I wrote a note on it to my dad saying, hey, this could be something we could help with. And it was through that journey that I came to understand that there was a vaccine, rotavirus vaccine, which is the cause of most diarrheal deaths. And it was being given to the rich kids, but it was not available to the rest of the kids in the world. So it was deeply ironic that we'd invented this thing, and yet it was far too expensive, and there was no funding to get it to all the world's countries. And so that was a kind of opportunity that made me super enthusiastic. So it was in the year 2000 that I made the first big gift to the Gates Foundation. It became the largest foundation in the world. I can't say enough how my parents drove my values and specifically pushed me to be philanthropic. My mom talked about to whom much is given, much is expected. Tragically, she died 32 years ago, but really shaped me in a very strong way. My dad was also quite amazing, not only encouraging me, but also he was around to help out. And in fact, my dad and Patty Stonesiber, who was here, did amazing work getting the foundation going while I was still full-time at Microsoft. This picture of my dad with Nelson Mandela and Jimmy Carter holding babies infected with HIV as part of a trip they made to Africa is one of my favorites. You know, they were attacked at the time by the ANC as being agents of the pharmaceutical companies because Thabo Mbeki was sort of denying that HIV was caused by the virus, and so it was a very controversial thing. The person other than my parents who influenced me a great deal is, of course, Warren Buffett. Warren influenced me before I met him in 1991. He wrote an article about giving all your money away and how leaving large sums to kids sometimes wasn't even a favor to them. And so people should think in a generous way like he was. You know, I learned so much from Warren, both his advice to me and his example. Of course, in 2006, he decided that some of his wealth would be given away through the Gates Foundation, and probably the most generous gift ever given by somebody to someone else's foundation. We've received over $43 billion in stock from Warren, and he continues to be very generous. Of course, it was very poignant last Saturday when at his 60th annual meeting, he discussed that he'll be stepping down as CEO of Berkshire, but he's still as wise as ever and had fantastic messages as part of that annual meeting that I was there with him at. So, the foundation so far during the 25 years has given away a little bit more than $100 billion. You know, we started in 2001 giving a bit over $1 billion. You can see that it grows, including particularly after the Buffett gift in 2006. And then you can see what it's been spent on. You know, we picked two big causes, education and health would be our main ones. Health here, we've split into two categories. Our health work is both discovery, where we create new tools and make them very, very inexpensive, and then healthcare delivery, where with partners, we finance these tools so they can get out to everyone in the world. The discovery piece, you know, we can fund a lot of that ourselves. Areas like malaria, TB, you know, we're big funders. We invite other people in. But the place that we're not nearly large enough to achieve what should be done is in the delivery piece. And that's where we've had other philanthropies, but also rich world governments that have given between 1% to 2% of their budget for these global health causes. And you know, the work in global health in terms of measuring the results, making sure we're having impact, you know, from the year 2000 to today, we've come a long ways. And a lot of this, you know, can best be summarized in terms of saving lives. Now, it's daunting when you talk about saving millions of lives or tens of millions of lives. You know, it's somehow not as evocative if I put up, you know, one person's picture and said we saved that person. But in fact, we can think of the parents and the communities and how impactful this is. In fact, we got a short clip that hopefully will bring that home. Two very specific memories for me are one is being in a malaria ward in Kenya with over 40 children and being told that half of those kids would not survive because of the malaria they were experiencing. Another experience was in South Africa, where I was meeting with the parents of a child that had died, and they had been asked for permission for us to do what we call a minimal invasive autopsy, which allows us to see exactly what caused the death. And the parents talked about how they were proud to give permission because it would mean that less parents would have to go through what they were going through. So the overall picture is the graph that's my favorite ever, showing this progress. Childhood deaths have been coming down for hundreds of years, but the period by far of the greatest progress reducing childhood deaths is the last 25 years. It was it's almost 10 million at the turn of the century, and now a bit below 5 million. Now, how did we do it? That's something to wish for, but how do you achieve it? Well, it turns out children die of a pretty modest number of things. Two of the diseases are pneumonia and diarrhea. And as I said, there were great vaccines, but only available in rich countries. And so we funded the creation of new vaccines for pneumococcus and rotavirus, and we got the price of the rotavirus.
Okay, so wanted to give you guys a little sense of this as Bill Gates touting and extolling the progress, the work the Gates Foundation has done for so long. So wanted to show you that. What's getting, though, a lot of attention right now is in conjunction with this announcement, Bill Gates did an exclusive interview with the Financial Times. I want to put this up here. So a lot of people are talking about this moment where Gates was quite forthcoming, we'll put it that way, about Elon Musk's efforts within the federal government at Doge here. So Bill Gates said in an interview that Elon Musk had acted through ignorance during what Gates described as misguided cuts to U.S. development assistance. So Gates accusing Musk of, quote, killing the world's poorest children through misguided USAID cuts. Gates told the FT the abruptness of the cuts had left life-saving food and medicines expiring in warehouses and could lead to the resurgence of diseases such as measles, HIV, and polio. Gates said this, quote, the picture of the world's richest man killing the world's poorest children is not a pretty one. Gates said, quote, I'd love for him to go in and meet the children that have now been infected with HIV because he cut that money.